Welcome to the Culturally Distinct Podcast. This is your boy DJ KO. KJ couldn't be here today. So today we have some special guests in the building. But before we get to the guests, I'd like to thank you guys who've been subscribing to the show, peeping the show out. Thank you guys for tuning in and sending me your comments, sending me everything that you guys want to be seen on the show, want to be heard on the show. I hear you, I see you, and it's coming. So speaking of that, we have two special guests in the building. I think these two people are special to me because they went to a university that's dear to my heart, Southern University, shout out. So today we have, to my left, we have Fallon Hamilton.
Yes, thank you. Welcome, thank you. What's up, what's up?
And also we have SonyaGaines.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
We're doing great. How are you?
I'm great. I'm awesome.
That's good.
Y'all been having a good day in this rainy day? It's been raining the whole week.
It's been raining for weeks.
Since April?
Right.
Since April, for real.
Right.
Yeah.
It's literally been raining for weeks.
I was in my yard, when was it? I was in my yard yesterday, and I can't cut the grass because it's been so saturated, right?
Right.
So my neighbors was like, man, I'm thinking about getting an irrigation system. I said, irrigation for what? All this rain, you need an irrigation system for, right?
Right.
That's weird. Anyway, so where you guys from? First and foremost, before you get started, where you guys from?
I'm from the north side of Houston, Texas.
Oh, boo.
For represent.
713 day was what? A couple of days ago.
Yesterday?
Right.
Day before yesterday?
Yeah, it was
Something
2
like
days
that,
ago, right?
you know?
Yeah, 713. What you do?
Homegrown. I am an attorney. I am an author. I own a business. I do
Okay.
a lot of things. A Renaissance type of chick.
What type of attorney?
I work at a nonprofit, so everything I do is to benefit low-income clients. I do a lot of record clearing. I do a lot of helping people who have been having run-ins with the criminal justice system just get reacclimated to like life and setting back up, re-entering society. So
Okay, that's dope. I might need help with that.
Awesome.
stay out of trouble, so we don't need to.
Stay out of trouble.
I'm about to say that we don't
I
won't
think
have
that's
to
his
do
middle
that.
name.
Right.
I can't stay out of trouble. You know, it's a lot of action going on in Houston right now. You know, especially with the pandemic. You know, we've been
The city has
inside.
been away.
We've been inside.
But
so-
Houston's been open for a while.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Since last summer.
I don't think I went inside yet.
Exactly.
So Sonya,
Yes.
where are you
yes.
from?
I am from Baton Rouge,
Okay.
Louisiana. So I was born and raised there. I've been in Houston now for about 8 years.
Okay.
And that's it.
Are you from Baton Rouge? Or are you from St. Francisville?
No, I'm
or-
actually from Baton Rouge.
Okay.
I grew up in Glen Oaks.
Okay, Glenn.
So-
Oh, you hood? You hood?
You know, got a little, might have a
okay.
little bit.
You throw what y'all used to do?
The threes up or
don't
something like
act
that?
You don't know.
Threes up? Yeah.
Yes.
So what made you guys, first of all, before we even get started, what made you guys go to HBCU?
Oh, good question.
Yeah.
My mother actually went to Southern University, and she was like, "This is the only place my money is gonna send you." But fortunately, I actually got scholarships.
Okay.
You know, although I am an AKA, I did receive a Delta scholarship. So I got a Delta scholarship in college, and then I had other scholarships that paid my tuition at Southern University. And I grew up in, you know, I was immersed in the culture of what an HBCU is.
Right.
We went to football games every weekend. We would go to basketball games and some of the other programs that I was involved in, like Louisiana Leadership Institute and all that. Those programs are actually on the campus of Southern University. And so because of that exposure, I was like, okay, there's no other place that I would rather be.
Yeah.
Right. And my HBCU experience has been second to none. You get, develop lifelong experiences that prepare you for the world, as well as you get, develop some lifelong friends
Right,
that
absolutely.
you will, that will stick by your side forever.
Right.
So that's my HBCU experience.
So how you went to, hold up, how did you have a scholarship to be a Delta and you became AKA?
No, it was not a scholarship to be a Delta. It was
Sponsored by
a
them.
sponsored, right. It was a scholarship that was sponsored by Delta.
Still though. So I'm trying to figure out, hold up. So if Delta sponsor you to pay, that's like me paying you to go
Right,
somewhere, right?
right.
Like your mother said she's going, her dollars is only going to HBCU.
Right. And then
So-
she didn't even have to pay for me to go to school. So that's the crazy part.
And then you went to Grambling. no hectic rambling. I love rambling.
Right. And you know what? Guess what? I am a woman of Alpha Kappa Alpha, but DST, they are some amazing women too. So I applaud them for all the service and all the things that they do as well. But my love is AKA.
Oh, that's dope. Okay. What about you, Fallon?
So I'll be honest. My Southern was not my first school of choice. I'll be very honest. I wanted to do a HBCU, but I also kind of had football wife dreams. So I low-key.
Football wife dream. What is that?
I low-key. The person that my high school person that I was into, I kind of wanted to go to college with him just in case, preparation for like football and all these. So when I told my mama like, oh, it's going to be University of New Mexico, or it's going to be Texas Tech, all these schools, she was like, girl, you ain't going to neither one of them schools. So then I kind of was like, okay, well, I'm not going to go to college with him. Then I was like, I'm going to go to Xavier. Xavier sent me a scholarship that was not a full scholarship. And I was like, I ain't going to be able to do this. So then I kind of was like, well, I guess I ain't going to college. I don't know what I'm going to do. And my aunt actually like applied for me to be in the honors college at Southern. And I got like all this stuff in the mail. And I'm like, what is this? And she was like, girl, Southern, like, here go an honors college. Like, this a scholar, apply for this, do this, do this. And I was like, okay, whatever. So when we finally went to like visit, the minute I crossed that hump, I was like, I'm gonna be right here. So
hold on, I'm trying to figure out. So you said New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico. All these strange Division I college. Where he gonna play at type school. So nothing was normal.
You were like seriously preparing.
I was like, look, I'm gonna be in New Mexico. We gonna get this draft going. Like whatever happens, like.
So did he get drafted?
No, he did not. No shade, he did not. But I feel like that was part of my life plan at that time when I was in high school. So that's kind of where my mentals were. So Southern was not. And I probably never mentioned that on the record anywhere before, so don't nobody be mad at me.
I didn't know that. So hold on.
Nobody does. I never tell people this.
It's okay because guess what? It cultivated the person that you are today.
It is. Like, changed my whole life. But I was literally on some, I'm going to be a football wife when I graduated high school.
What black person you know that want to go to New Mexico State?
We was going where the scholarship offers were coming.
So you was being a thought
no. Back then the term,
she was being down for her man.
The term was Bopper in Houston back then.
Okay.
That hadn't come to be in play, but no, I was not one of those either. I just was trying to make sure that both of us were successful individuals and being there together. Like, you going to this strange state and all this stuff. Like, let me go with you so that we could both be successful. That was my mentality. But
so let me ask you this: where did he go? Where did the guy?
He ended up going to college in New Mexico. Don't beat me up, wife. Listen, that was
we ain't calling no names.
That was 20 years ago. We ain't saying no names.
Yeah.
But he ended up going to University of New Mexico, I believe.
Okay.
And I went to Southern.
Did he went to the league? Didn't he go to the league?
No.
He did?
He didn't go to the
league. Oh, well, you paying out better, so he's all right.
He didn't go to the league.
So, speaking of Houston, we got another guest that joined us. You know how black people, they get late all the time, but it's all good. We got my man Larry. Larry's a realtor in the building. What's good, brother?
I can't complain, man. Everything is good. Just, you know how that H-Town traffic can do you from time to time.
Hey, man. Look, I know. I was one of the girls earlier. I was talking. It was early. You know, brothers, we always late. We always leave the house when it's supposed time to be there.
Yeah, especially when it's a Thursday. They got a few happy hours going on.
Absolutely.
We get mixed and caught up a little bit.
Right. So, Larry, tell the people what are you from?
Okay.
And what do you do?
All right. I am here. I'm a Houstonian from Houston, Texas. Grew up on the south side of Houston, Texas, in MLK, the block. I am a real estate broker. I have one of the largest African-American or minority-owned brokerage firms in Texas. I teach and coach other realtors how to become successful. That's what that's my day-to-day now.
That's dope. So I didn't get a chance to get to you guys first. You told me you're an attorney. And Sonya, you didn't tell me what you exactly
I didn't tell you what I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have been a nurse for 13 years.
Okay.
So I have my look, I got my master's from Southern University and my bachelor's degree from Southern University.
Hey.
And I am also a realtor. I have been a realtor in the Houston area for about 4 years.
Okay.
I absolutely love it, and it has been probably one of the most enjoyable experiences that I've had.
You making all the money, man. So look,
Yes, she is. She
So
got all
we
kind of industries on lock.
I'm like, we got a broker here, we got an attorney, we have a nurse and a realtor. All I need is $20. Happy hour was that we need happy hour, right? So let's get into real estate. I'm gonna get to you next, Fallon. But let's get into real estate. Right now, the market is a crazy market right now. It's
Absolutely.
like my house. Look, I'm not gonna. Well, one of my houses, the equity went up to like 200 grand. I was like,
Yeah.
what's going
Yeah.
on? It's like, is it a shortage of houses? What? Like, I don't understand.
Well, there is pretty much a shortage of houses. There are more buyers right now than there are sellers.
What
So
do
it's
people coming from?
currently a seller's market. People are coming from California, New York. Actually, I just closed 2 couples from New York. You know, a lot of people are moving here from just different areas, not just there. I mean, Nevada, like a lot of people just relocating from everywhere.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the biggest part of the shortage is these buyers were coming. You know,
Right.
Houston, we get
Right.
over 250,000 new people relocating here every year. But the thing that really set this up to the market that we're in is the pandemic. Because
Right.
when
Okay.
everything stopped, productivity stopped, home making stopped.
Right.
Really?
And then
You
a lot
still
of
people
people they're afraid to sell their houses as well too. So
Why?
typically because where are they going to move?
Yeah.
You know? So realistically, you can sell your house and you can make probably a huge profit, but where are you going to go? You know, the builders are delayed. I have a client who just the other day they told us she signed a contract in May to build. The house is not going to be ready until February.
Yeah.
That's how long
Oh,
it's taking.
That's crazy.
Because of production, just like he said.
That's right.
Production is down. They really don't. They are delayed on getting the materials
Yeah.
that are supposed to be coming in.
Okay, so how does that work? Because I was talking to a builder last month, and we have a project going and whatever, and the anticipated time was August, and this was probably back in March. For as anticipated time to finish the project was supposed to be in August, and now it's been delayed to December.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is that really that much short?
Yeah, I
up?
mean, just think about it. Why the lumber prices were like through the roof. They're coming down now, but they were through the roof because the production, like they stopped producing lumber because last year nobody was they were like, you know, builders are literally begging people to build houses. So now it is a seller's market. So the builders, they literally, they're actually, if you go into the master plan communities and things like that, they're actually putting caps on how many homes they sell per month.
Really?
Wow.
Because they can't keep up. Like they cannot keep up with the
Is
productivity.
that everywhere? That's across the country?
Yes, I
yeah,
would say it's
pretty
across the
much.
country.
Yeah, pretty much it is.
I thought it was mostly in Texas, because I know.
Oh no, in Louisiana they're experiencing the same shortage on houses. The builders can't keep up. It's
What
pretty
about
much
land?
the
I didn't know
same
that.
What about land?
land.
Like land, like
What exactly?
Not land to build, but land just to buy. Is it the land high? Is it expensive? Or
So I'll give you an example of some land. So my cousins, they took me out to Angleton in January.
in the country, yeah.
Right. And they were like, okay, they wanted to purchase some land. So I was like, okay.
In
It's
Angleton?
Angleton?
They
Like,
black?
you know, right.
Are they black?
Right. Yeah.
Don't
And
be
I was
sleeping on
like,
Angleton.
no,
Angleton-
exactly. You'll be surprised. So
Yeah.
just think about
Angleton
it. Right. It's going to be a lot of people from California are actually moving out
It's a
there.
new Cypress.
You were,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I don't
about
know
to
about
be.
that, but
It's gonna take you by surprise,
eventually-
believe me, because it's
Right,
like that
but
fast
it's
road.
eventually
Land part
right.
two.
But eventually it will get there. So they bought some land in Angleton. The first lot was $8,000. The second lot was $9,000.
How big is the lot?
So these are because of the community that it's
Okay.
in. Like some of the lots are like 42,000 square feet, but
Okay.
you know. Disclosure, it is in a flood zone and it floods heavily, but people still buy there, you know. So the land, that's how much they were now. Now you can't find a piece of land out there for less than at least like 25 grand.
Wow.
And
Wow.
that's
It's going up
from
like that?
that's from January.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So land prices are
I'm
going
going back
up.
to Louisiana. Hell. Texas is expensive, man. Hell.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People, but still it's expensive. But even for people that are moving from New York and California, it's not as expensive for them to buy here.
They've been saying people been buying with cash.
Right,
Here you go.
like,
I
Yeah.
left my house
Absolutely.
in Cali. And here
Well, I
you
have a
go.
neighbor.
Just take this.
I have a neighbor that left San Francisco. He sold. He had 2 houses in San Francisco. He was there for 50 years. He sold a house. I think one of his houses sold for like $2 million, and his other house sold for like 1.5. He retired. Him and his wife retired.
Oh wow.
They moved to Cyprus. Bought the house cash. Bought the cars cash,
Yeah.
and they still got a lump sum.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And
No doubt
retire,
about
you know,
That's
when you
it.
retire,
That's
hey,
good.
that's the life you're living, right?
Right,
You smoke
right.
cigars and weed every day. Hey. Ain't that the life?
Yeah.
That's what
No doubt.
So, Fallon, talk about it. You just wrote a book, another book, because you got like 4 of them, right?
I have contributed to like 4 books. Yeah.
4 books. So, the
Awesome.
last time I saw you had the Oud.
An ode,
Ode.
which is the book of poetry that I wrote in 2018.
Okay.
I contributed on Superwoman Survival Stories, I think, right when we met up the first time. Since then, I have contributed to the Southern University Alumni book, which is like an anthology talking about all the different alumni's experiences. I contributed to Love Letters to My Girls, which is like a kind of like a chicken soup for the soul type thing,
For women.
dedicated to Black women and girls, where you kind of are speaking on different life experiences. And most recently, I did the foreword for part 2 of Superwoman Survival Stories. So
That's awesome.
So, everything is
Awesome.
predicated on women, right?
those projects have been. The Southern University one is not. That's on for
Okay.
everybody. But what I'm working on now is a fiction novel, which is going to be for everybody.
Because you know where I'm going with this next question.
Go,
I do.
go for it.
Femininity, you know.
Man.
Femininity.
Go for it.
Are you a feminist? And if you are, it's fine.
I honestly feel like feminism is a term that white women use.
Okay. Talk about it.
I
Talk
don't
about it.
necessarily subscribe to the fact of like Black women necessarily being feminist.
Right.
I am very pro woman, pro Black woman as far as like progression, empowerment, and things of that nature. But I'm also very old school when it comes to like some traditional roles. So some things that people would scream out is, "Oh no, I'm a feminist. I don't want you doing that." I'm
Right.
like, "Girl, bye. My daddy pumped gas and watched cars. Like I need like
Right.
actual masculine traits that's coming through. Like I'm not tripping. I don't need to open nothing myself. Like
gotcha.
I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
dope.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't need none of that. Like
I was raised the same
yeah,
way.
I'm gonna play all these domestic
Right.
roles, whatever you need me to do. But I
Yeah, hilarious.
I don't-
I am, man.
Yeah.
She cleared that answer up.
Domestic.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But I mean, hey, that's how she really
No, that's-
feels.
that's
I mean,
real.
it is what it is, right?
like I'm not like people. I'll tell people like, "Oh, I'm scared of you." No, sir, don't get me twisted. I ain't screaming no independent woman stuff. I need somebody. I ain't screaming that at all. Like I don't.
That's
know.
a smart lady right
Yeah, listen, we gonna figure this out together because I ain't on that. Like not at all. Like respect to people who are like cool and making it, but just the way that I was brought up, that's unrealistic to me.
Right.
I ain't trying to be fist in the air. I don't need no man. I do. Listen, I do.
So
That
are
is
you-
a necessity
So do you consider yourself as being a submissive woman?
for the right person. Yes.
Okay.
Now there are some things that I'm not about to submit to somebody who is not capable of leading, or somebody
Right.
who is not able
But
to
that
make
also goes
decisions.
into your selection process,
Right.
right?
Like
So
you're
you
gonna
can't
have to-
just.
Two
But
women that they see they teaming up now.
no,
That's just
I mean,
real
it's the
talk.
truth. It's
That's
the
real
truth.
I feel the
talk.
femininity.
It is
Yeah.
the truth.
But
No,
that's real
it has
talk.
absolutely nothing to do with that. It's about the selection.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have the ability to choose who we're with,
Yeah.
right? And so if that person displays that type of, behavior or those actions, then of course you're willing to do that.
Yeah.
But if not, then I mean, you probably gonna exit the stage left anyway.
Or you
right?
don't need to be. Yeah, some
So-
people are
Them
making
liking answers. They nice, strong
expectations.
answers, though.
Yeah,
I agree
like-
with you.
No, like all of that is cool, but that's not. I'm not trying to be 80 and like by myself. Like all that independent on the beach is cute, but I'm gonna need Papa around. Like
It's hard though. It's hard.
somebody gonna be having to kill these bugs up in here.
I
Like,
was out the other night, and of course everybody knows that I'm married. So, but I was out the other night, and
shout out to wifey. I love her.
so I was talking to a sister, man. She was married for 15 years, and now she's recently divorced. and she was just talking about all the things that her husband used to do, and that she has nobody to do it for her. Like you said, wash the car, put the gas in the, take out the trash.
Right.
And I'm like, man, I said, most women out here that's single, I was like, it's hard.
It's
Like, we do it
very
all.
hard.
We do it all.
It's hard out here, man. Especially in a city like Houston.
Yeah, we do it all.
It's hard.
It's more
Right.
females out here than men, so it's definitely
Right.
a
Right.
little,
So let me
little
ask you
hard.
guys this. And you guys are all, young, mid-age. Why multiple jobs? Because you guys already have careers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys have a career going. You
Right.
got about 10 more years to retire. But why multiple jobs? Why more money? Why more access? Achieving more? Why?
I can answer that easily.
ahead.
Like I've just never been a person to stay stagnant in my life at all. Growing up, my father worked multiple jobs. I saw him, he didn't make a whole lot of money, but I didn't feel like that. I was always taken care of. I always got what I wanted. And so growing up, seeing that type of hustle and that type of drive, was always something that I was like, okay, I've always just had multiple jobs, even like starting with nursing. I've had multiple nursing jobs, and then I got into real estate and I was like, okay. So like I can do this. So now, everything that I do, leads to something else. I got into nursing. Nursing has, bridged the gap, and now I am in real estate. So real estate is going to bridge another gap to some other, business ventures that I have coming along in the near future, and then on to some other things. So it's like, why stay in one position when you can be and grow into so much more? The sky is the limit. Like, like
That's true.
I
literally
agree.
you don't want to get to a point and
Just stop.
you stop, right? And then and when it comes down to your jobs and things like that, your job is loyal to you, but how long?
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I think that for me, it was kind of like a natural progression. My first career was real estate. Got into real estate, and the stage of real estate of always speaking and being in front of the right people led to me authoring books, because people wanted to know, how did I succeed? How did I make those things happen? Right. So those goes into books, and then they turn into speaking engagements. Speaking engagements turned into, you're always so busy. Man, you just got a pure hustle about you. It turned into my clothing line, the Pure Hustle clothing brand.
Okay.
Awesome.
And then the philanthropy, the work of always giving back to others turned into a Grandparents Love, which is a nonprofit that I have. And so it's just one of those things that it just seems like as you grew, more opportunities just came in front of you. Not that you desired to create them yourself, but the lane was there. And if enough people ask you to step into it, you walk into that void and you build something there.
I'm right there with them. It's like once you start putting out that energy, like good things start coming to you.
Absolutely.
If you are a servant type person, there's no way that you can just be stagnant. Like other opportunities are going to present themselves. You're always going to want more. The ambition is just natural for some people. Like even you got multiple hustles too. You know the answer to this question. Like Like we are not a people who are just about being stagnant. Like that's one thing I can say. Like everybody I know has like goals, ambitions. Like if you don't have one hustle, you got something else brewing in the back burner. Like we are all of a generation where we all got that go get it mentality, and I'm like love it.
And it's like, why just do one thing when you can do multiple things?
So, the reason why I asked that question because I'm leading up to another one.
I knew it was going somewhere. I seen that look in your eyes. I knew it was going somewhere.
And look, we like, like we pumping each other up on it and everything. Like
my thing is, I'm big on agreements, and I'm big on people coming together and working together for a mission and a goal. Right? We all have these tasks. We all have these accomplishments. We all have this money. We all have these businesses. Do we go back? What is it? Teach one, reach one. Do we go reach one, teach one, or do we keep it to ourselves?
Oh no. I think that, if anybody and people that know me, if they want to come to me and talk to me about anything that I do, I'm down,
Okay.
Like I'm not going to tell you do this, do that, but I'll tell you how to get there,
Yeah.
you know? And the thing is, and you know, with experience with real estate, you know, a lot of people want to sit down and they want to talk to you, but they don't want to necessarily do the work that comes with it.
That's right.
You know? And so I think that we can give back. And I absolutely love to give back. I love to talk to people, but we also have to get people that are truly engaged in order to give back, you know? And I think when you have those types of people that are like each one of you in this room, I see that y'all hustlers, you go getters, that type of stuff. So you don't mind having conversations with those types of people, right? But you know, you want to see it like, you know, just all around. Like, you know, you don't want it to just be the four of us in here that feel like that. You want it to be more of us
Like
that
a
are
whole
doing that.
circle,
Right,
like everybody that I encounter,
right.
you
And-
want to like upgrade them.
Yeah, and you know, Zig Ziglar said it best. He said, if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll eventually get all of the things you want. So,
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
giving has always been the foundation of who I am, because I have seen success from it. The more I pour into others, my blessings just flood in. I've
Yes,
always been
yes,
favored, and it's
absolutely.
just and I don't know if it's just a seed that's being planted when you're doing that, but yes, I think you most definitely have to reach back and give to the others.
Right.
And I mean, I may not can point out or identify the exact person that changed my life, but I know that one of my little league football coaches was the first person to stand up for me to my grandmother to say, we want this kid to play this game. We're going to come pick him up. We're going to make sure that he gets his homework done before we pick him up. And that led to me eventually, years later, having a full football scholarship that allowed me to get a degree that changed the history and the dynamics of my family to be a generation curse breaker.
Right.
And so,
Yeah.
you
That's
got to
dope.
reach back.
So mindset also, the mindset of the individuals, because we have a lot of people that we have peers that's making good money, that's in business, that's doing a lot of successful things, but their mindset is still
Right.
mine.
Yep.
Right.
So let me ask you guys this, because both of you guys have books, right? And I want to know, because I'm trying to write a book. So I got to pick y'all brain on that, right? The startup. The very first thing. What is the very first thing in writing a book? The approach of writing a book.
I would say being open and honest and vulnerable to tell your truth, regardless of what type of story you got to tell. Like, it's somebody out there who needs to hear it, whether
Right.
it's fiction, whether it's nonfiction, whether it's a to-do list of books, like a story, whatever. Like, there's an audience for everybody. So if someone were to ask me, like, oh, how'd you do this, blah, 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 like, it's no reason to keep information, because the
Right.
story you have to tell is uniquely yours. Like, your story is going to be yours.
do I
No one's...
start it?
Pen and paper?
Or just have
Or do it audio.
Yeah,
you
put
got
it in the
audio
paper.
devices all around. You could
They
just
got an
start
app.
spitting it out
Yeah.
audio
Right.
wise,
A
and then
app.
you can have somebody else to come through and edit and help organize it. The
Or
company that I
transcribe it.
use helped me transcribe a lot of my words.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
That's
did mine
awesome.
more. My second book was transcribed.
Okay.
Well, that's
Okay.
awesome.
Y'all taught me something.
Just do it.
You know,
I
I
say
brought
just
y'all here to
start.
pick your brand.
So we'll be looking for a book from you soon.
Hey, you spoke it. It's coming.
Come
It
on.
has to
Right.
come.
That's what
Spoken.
you have to speak what you seek until you see what you said.
So look, in saying that, we talking about not religion but spirituality.
Okay.
How important is spirituality in you guys' profession and you guys walk in life? Because these
Period,
terms you guys give, you
period.
said favor, you said spirit, you said
Well,
you
you
was
know,
praying in tongues earlier. I
That's,
was like,
that's the foundation of my life.
Okay.
Okay. Like, I grew up in church, but, you know, I grew up praying, you know, seeking God in everything that I do. I wouldn't be here today. All that I am, all that I have is because of God,
Okay.
you know? So spirituality is a huge thing in my business, in my life in general, you know? So yeah.
I was reared in the church as well, so I most definitely have faith. I don't judge those that don't. It's just as long as I'm not dealing with people that think that they're the end all be all. As long as you feel like there's a source that's higher than you, then there's room for you to be great. But if as soon as you think that you're the top of the totem pole, then that's the problem.
You're the source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be
Yeah.
the source, in my opinion.
Right.
Now, I didn't grow up in church, but it was something that my grandma, my family was based, like, religious, whatever. I just didn't grow up like that. So when I went to law school, it was kind of like, life is so wild. Like, you're seeing all these things happening with people. Like, you have to have something to lean on. You have to have some faith. So I started going to church with one of my friends in law school. got baptized, did all these things, and then just kind of kept on with it because, like, being an attorney, you see so much and you see so much grief and you just see so much bad stuff happen to people all the time. Like, you have to have something. I've always been, like, really big on, like, just blessings coming to you, like speaking things into existence. And all of that is, like, church-based.
Manifestation.
That's true.
Right. But it's just, like, from a perspective of not being a kid at Bible school and all of that. Like, these are things that I had to come into in adulthood.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So, Larry, let's talk about your clothing line.
Okay.
Pure Hustle.
Yeah.
The name itself, I know it's self-explanatory, but where did it come from? Where did it arrive from?
You know, it was a buddy of mine that I grew up with in South Park. He has a clothing boutique store.
And you're from Houston, right?
From Houston.
From Houston. Okay.
Yeah. So he and I was talking one day. We were supposed to catch up, but I was catching a flight to go for a speaking engagement. He was just like, "Man, you always on the go. Man, you just, I mean, I've said it's the hustle." And then he's like, "Man, you got pure hustle." And then next thing I know, I get back to the city and he's showing me the image and I'm like, oh, that's live.
Okay.
And next thing you know, we've been pushing the brand out. So
how
one day,
how long have you been doing it?
2 years.
2 years?
That's
Okay.
awesome.
So one day, we hope to look up and someone done bought us out. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to do it like Jay-Z and Sean, how Puffy did Sean John. We just want to get rid of it one day.
That's
but
like you have
it's been
a
good.
good friend too.
For
Yeah,
real.
right.
That took that, like, you know,
Yeah.
that's somebody that
blessing.
you stick with all the time
Yeah.
because to take that
Yeah.
from you and to then to
present
turn
it,
it
yeah.
right to
Yeah.
turn it around like that, man, that's
I would've took that idea and
amazing.
ran with that.
It's funny because
That's
it's
why
the way
you
that-
don't get it.
Yes.
And it's funny because it's one of my guys that I talk to all the time. And again, he's in in his shop, he could sell a plain white T-shirt for $15. In the
Okay.
hood, people come through, they just buy T-shirts like nothing.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but for him, he does a lot of the press work for us as well. And so, but I'm more of around the world, so I do a lot of travel. So I'm more of people will probably see and identify me more with the brand because of that.
Okay.
But ideally, I do have a partner in it, and he's one of my best friends. So we've been, ride it out for many years,
But that's dope.
literally,
That's awesome.
childhood.
But you know what, though? All you guys' stories kind of similar because you from South Park, right?
Mm-hmm.
South Park, which is the hood.
H-Town, Texas, baby.
Yeah, Acres Home.
Glen Oaks, which is the hood.
Acres Home.
Acres Home, which is the hood. So, and you guys are all successful. Well, we will call successful, right? And you guys come from the hood. I'm going to say this. When I say hood, some people think it's
Right.
everybody, you're making 70 grand a year, the average family. I'm talking about hood. Y'all coming from the hood where it's impoverished condition.
Yeah.
A lot of crackheads on the corner, Zion City.
No doubt.
Right?
That's
So,
facts.
But see, I didn't stay that close to Zion City. Oh, okay. That's
so
okay.
she was so,
I was on the other side.
but you guys made it out of there. So
Right.
I want to, because the thing is, I want to know the mindset of you guys in the everyday lifestyle, because that stays with you, because that's part of your foundation.
Yeah.
In business.
Right.
So when you in these boardrooms, or when you with these clients, or when you with these different people, these different people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
They have a different way of
Yeah.
understanding things.
Pull yourself up by your bootstrap.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So
I've been there with 'em.
it's like, how do I manage that professionalism and not reach back to my hood ways?
Oh.
I
You dig
think we
what
have
I'm
an
saying?
advantage. I definitely think we have an advantage. For me, just being able to relate to people and know that good things can happen, like bad things can happen to good people. It's good people that get caught up all the time.
Right.
Right.
The legal system is not necessarily set up as an equal playing field. So
Right.
just having that knowledge that, okay, I know people who got caught up like this, or I know people who've been in situations like this, I feel like my perspective is different because I can see both sides of the story without judgment.
Yeah.
I can know that, okay, if I could do it, I can like go back and speak to kids in my high school and be like, you could do it too. Like I live on this street. Like
Right.
you could do the
right.
same thing. Like it gives a better perspective. It kind of motivates you more. It kind of gives you like that hustle mentality. Like you
It
know what you
does.
don't, you know what you don't want. So you're
Or you don't wanna go back
yeah,
to.
like laser focused on what you need. And then my daddy wasn't playing no games with no foolishness, so it was gonna be successful
Right.
regardless.
And that's how my mother was.
Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
gonna be
like
no games
I had no
regardless.
choice. Like I was afraid of her,
Yeah.
you know. And so it was that's how she reared me, you know. And yes, I grew up in that area, but
But
you
still
know,
can go back and be
exactly. I can fit in with the
Hey,
best.
what's
You know.
So the
what's
thing
up?
is, we all went to school together, right?
Okay.
So at homecoming, I see the other side of them. So look, well, a couple of drinks to get going. Hey, look,
Whatever.
You know, we maintain our professionalism in
Absolutely.
those boardrooms.
Absolutely.
So
Sure
you
do.
know,
And
now
of course.
that's one thing you will learn from Southern University.
yes.
Duality.
So,
right.
That's
Definitely.
a beautiful thing, man. I want to know what you guys got coming. You guys, I know you got 1,000 books. Listen, every time I see it, she got a new book. I'm like, damn, Fallon, you need to be my publisher or something, man. What you guys got coming?
I'm gonna say, find me a husband and I'll slow down on this right.
no, that's right.
Ooh, you
Fallon.
know what that means?
Fallon, like, don't
That-
stay
you
on the
know what that
grind.
means?
That's
That
the
means that
next
she
episode.
needs to come back for
A husband?
a husband
That's the next
podcast.
episode.
Uh-huh.
Just
Mhm.
saying.
So you-
I may not have as much
Give
time.
the
to
DNA
write.
and what they supposed to look like.
Just saying.
So,
Uh-huh.
look, all right, watch this. Watch this, Sonya. Watch this.
Uh-huh.
Larry, you single?
Depends on what day you at. Depends on what day and time it is. Yeah, it depends.
So, you know what? Look, being single is a good thing right now. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be single because once you get locked up with somebody, man, it's
So
He
why
said
we
locked
use the
up.
term locked up?
like prison.
Why are we using this terminology?
But it's not a
I
bad
don't
thing.
think it's prison.
No, it's not a
but
bad thing. You just stuck with that person.
But
So that's a
I
good
feel
thing.
like
stuck with
a
that person.
pair,
I'm gonna edit this shit out with love.
right, a group. Like I don't see the prison analogy. I see like partnership.
Okay.
Somebody we compatible with that we can.
I don't know. I hear you on that prison
Longevity.
stuff though.
Prison?
It is lockdown.
Were you
It
married
comes-
before?
I have been.
Okay.
That's funny.
Lockdown.
I'm it is funny though. I'm sorry. That was a good one.
So the thing is, we're not saying it because as men, we're looking at it from a providing standpoint. Because we in our mind, we feel like we have to provide all the time. Even though you guys might have it, but we still, if a real man, he wants to provide at all times. So the thing is,
Absolutely, as he should.
when you wake up and you don't have it, or you don't have the energy or the capacity to to love or whatever, you still got to do it.
Yep.
Right.
So that's why.
But
I think that women have to
it.
do it too, though. Like even as a wife, even when you're not feeling it, you still have to be a wife. You still have to be a mother. You still got to cook for your kids.
So you married?
You still no, I'm not. But I'm just saying.
Boyfriend? You got a
No,
boyfriend?
no, I'm single.
It's a
But-
single woman talking.
But,
See what I'm
but
saying?
no, but I'm just saying, like, as a role, as we are just sitting here talking about, how you want a man to be a man, and then you want to be that woman too, right?
Yeah.
So you still have all those responsibilities, just like you said you struggle. With wanting to get up and provide and things like that. Women struggle with wanting to get up.
Like, I gotta make
they
sure
got to
you
get the
good.
kids together, drop them off at school, feed them breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever the case might be, right? So I feel like it goes both ways.
So what I'm gonna do is this. Since you guys said that, this gave me a thought. I'm gonna bring these two guys right here, these two females, since they single.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring them on a dating podcast where we're
Oh,
gonna have a
gosh.
speed dating. We're gonna do a speed dating.
Speed dating on a podcast.
I'm gonna watch that one. Yeah.
A speed dating, right? We want to know the game. We want to know we want to know the idea behind. Because the thing is, going into something new is fresh.
Mm-hmm.
But when you with that person for 2 or 3 years and that it hasn't changed, you're like, man, I'm tired of this.
But when you say it hasn't changed, what hasn't
What do
changed?
you want to
Like,
change?
what hasn't changed?
Because-
Are we
so-
not
because
growing
people
together?
don't
Hey, you gotta jump in,
change.
man.
I'm staying away from
Are we
this
not
one,
growing
man.
together? Like, are we not?
But people
Hustling together?
typically don't change
They
unless
don't.
they want to change.
Especially at our age.
So
they
so
not
if
changing.
you
But
so
don't you change
exactly
together? Like-
so if the person they are who they are in their moment. So if you're not okay with that person on that day at that time
Right.
of that week of that month that year, then it's just I don't know what else to say. Like you have to be accepting of who they are.
So
like
what happens
people.
is this. This is what happens. This is my experience.
Like,
right?
now we talk- look, now we
edit it.
going-
None of this gonna make it on there.
Of course, later I can edit it out. But I'm not saying from my marriage. I'm talking about prior to marriage. My thing is this: as a man, we look at it from a standpoint of, okay, this woman is beautiful. She's articulate. She has an understanding of business. Blah blah blah. But she has some things that we don't like, right? So over time, and this a lot of people over time we think it's going to change because we love each other. We're consistent
It's
with
not.
each other.
Yeah.
We're consistent with and I'm consistent in telling her this is what pleases me.
No, it's not.
Right?
It's not
I
going to
want
change.
head. I want you to be a freak sometimes.
It's
They don't
not
change,
going
man.
to
It's tough.
change. Like that's the thing. So whoever
Look into
you,
these things at first,
whoever you marry, they are who they are.
And they don't
Like-
change because they ain't got the pressure on them no more. Like if you
Right.
really want them to change,
Because-
you got to have that pressure. You
But-
got to keep them as a side piece or whoever
But,
they
but
is.
okay,
You gotta
okay,
put the-
Mary,
Hold
Mary,
on,
wait a
man.
minute.
I'm trying to talk about putting the pressure on them. Now, what's going to be good? But I'm saying-
Wait a minute. Hold
Okay.
on. Wait, look, pump
We
the
was on Main
brakes.
Street.
Pump the
We on
brakes.
27.
Okay.
You talking about side pieces? Come on,
Right. So this is the thing. Any respectable woman is not gonna do that. Like respectable.
There are some
You gotta
pick
put the
me's
pressure
out
on
there.
them.
There are some
Right.
pick-me's.
But this is the thing. Even with men, like it goes both ways. I'm not gonna say because women do the same thing. You change temporarily,
yeah.
right?
Or make
You
the
tell that
changes to
person
fit 'em.
what you want. They're gonna fix it in that moment.
Yeah.
You know, and so
that
you
moment.
fit right in that moment. So you might get that person to be whoever they are temporarily, maybe a month, 2 months, and that's a stretch, you
Yeah.
know. And after that, they're
They
gonna
act
go
and it's
back
gone.
to the same person that they are because they didn't change because they wanted to change. They changed because you wanted them to change.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
But over time, I know that's what I'm saying. So over time, if a person does that and they get a divorce or they get separated, they're gonna say, well, the only reason I was in that situation because I was doing this for that person. Over time, that's
Right.
not gonna last.
You're not gonna be happy.
Right.
They're not gonna be happy.
But that's a lot of situations though.
I mean,
Right.
but that's the. But I mean, I think that people let themselves down more than they do other people. So I do think a motivational factor or a lot of people's why should either be their spouse or the love that they want from their spouse.
Right.
Like that should have to be your why, because if it's
Yeah.
based on you, you're gonna let yourself down all the time.
Right,
Yeah.
And I think that you should be willing to make those adjustments if you thinking long term. When people are not willing
Right.
to make those adjustments, then they can't be thinking that this is going to last long time. Like at some point,
Right.
some person gets burnt out, even if it's a man and he's, I think the most thing that they say we always come in on is a woman's size, right? Even if I'm letting you know, baby, I know it's doable because
Getting big,
I'm
baby.
seeing it.
Getting
Like,
big, baby.
I'm just telling you up
Getting
front,
big.
and I think we could do this. Or even if the wife is like, listen, boo, you know, like, I'm tired of telling you every week, you got to get out there and rake the yard.
Yeah.
We
Right.
shouldn't have to get a notice for this every week.
Right.
But it's those things that people get tired of, and, you know, it may be a year later, and it just blows up.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And so
Versus
got to
just
make those
communicating.
changes, yeah.
But you also need to notice those things from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if those are red flags and some things that you cannot deal with, then
Right.
you need to let it go. And I think that a lot of people are afraid to walk away because they feel like, you know, like you
stuck,
said,
there ain't
you
no
like
other option.
you're right.
You gotta do what you gotta
You're
do.
here. There are no other options, and this is all I got. You know what I mean?
Just settling.
Betty Wright lied because she said
She
having
sure
a piece
did.
of man is better than having no man at
She
all.
was telling the truth.
Yeah,
That
she
is
was
a
telling the
lie.
truth. She was telling the truth.
That
man.
is
She was
a lie.
telling the truth. It
That
is
is
very,
the,
hey,
that is the ultimate lie. That was the 1970s
Man, I
lie.
just seen a girl on a treadmill the other day saying the same thing. She was like, girl, what makes you think y'all supposed to have your own man? Y'all better shut them, man. That's what she said. Just as she said.
What gym
So
was
look
you
at this. Look at this. All right. Look at how women outnumber men.
Oh, absolutely.
So now I'm not saying have a polygamous relationship. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if I want to be happy with this little small piece of happiness, and I know this man isn't mine, so the time since I had a song, the
But how
weekend,
can
right?
you even be happy?
Oh,
What if you
God.
want the nigga
They-
on Tuesday?
Monday-
and it's Saturday.
There are
Hey, Fallon, like, hold on, man.
there are a lot of songs that are related to
SZA
being
said
a
it.
side
Monday and
piece,
Tuesday, you can
okay?
have them.
Like-
Just send them out the weekend for me.
What if I want to go somewhere Wednesday night?
Yeah,
well,
have
you
one
know
the
what?
weekend.
Jamie Foxx had the Weekend Lover song.
Hey.
So do men feel the same way?
Hey,
I honestly don't think no man would be cool with
They
just,
are not.
Like,
Men
if I
do
got
not
two
like to.
boyfriends,
They don't
I'm
like. They don't
I'ma
want to
holler at
share.
you on Friday, baby, but
You know
Saturday
what?
I'm gonna be with Craig. Like y'all would not be comfortable.
actually,
They
I'm
would
single,
not.
so I can answer that question.
Y'all would
You're
not.
right,
Be
you
with
cannot.
that.
I think a dude would be cool with a woman having another man.
And you like the woman?
Would you
Like
be
you
cool
like
with
her
that?
more than
It
just the smash?
Would you be cool,
No, no,
Larry?
no, no,
Would
no.
you be cool with that?
Would I
just
be
don't see
cool
it.
with dating somebody
being
that?
shared?
Would I be cool with sharing someone or
Yeah.
being shared?
Well, that's
Either one.
different, Yeah.
Yes, I would be cool with either one of them.
Oh,
See,
okay.
I'm open minded to it. Let's go.
You sure,
What's
man?
your sign? I'm about to say most men I know. You ain't gonna be no
and
Libra
again-
or whatever. You ain't gonna be certain signs.
I am a
somebody.
Libra.
Okay,
Oh,
see,
yeah.
But here's my thought, though.
Libras are.
But
they be.
But here's the thought behind it, though. Again, I think it just depends on where you are, what lane you're in. like, you know, at what age range you dating in, all of that kind of stuff plays a role in my thought process behind that.
So we've been dating a whole year. You just sprung, like you just nose open, whatever. And I'd be like, you know what? You gotta go speak where? All right, cool. Me and Adam about to go
on a date
to Cancun, baby.
That wouldn't be me though.
You good with that?
Nah, that's too long. I ain't dating you
Well,
that long.
6 months. 6 months. Maybe 6, like 6
I'm a
months.
3-month kind of guy.
Oh my God.
It's time to change that. It's time to change out after 3 months, baby.
you asked Fallon, you asked the wrong person.
I'm about to say, you don't even know somebody after 3 months. Like, I'm just like, would you be cool?
I want all the fun moments. That's it. I just want to have a great time.
Right.
It starts to fade out about 3 months. So
It's like a new car, right?
I think you need to take that pure off and just have hustle.
I'm teasing, ladies.
So, this is my last question for the evening because I know you guys have to go, and happy hour is almost over, so I got to catch happy hour.
Happy hour is over.
I think Larry mentioned this: the why. Why is it the things that you do? Why do you do them? And this is a question for all three of you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Why I gotta go first?
I go first.
You go first.
No problem. My why is simple. My why is my generation. My why is to break the generational curse of the Brooks family. And so I've done a great job at starting that, but my bigger why is to make sure that my son and his son and his sons have things that I leave for them. So my biggest why is just to leave a legacy, and I'm not playing with it at all. My decisions, every decision I make is about the legacy. And I'm not talking about 2 or 3 generations. I'm trying to be at least 20 generations deep by the time I'm done with what I'm doing. So that's my why, and I think that it's a strong why because it's something that's a goal that needs to be reached, and only people that are doing it are people that's up every day hustling to get to that why.
Yeah.
So
That's dope.
it's way bigger than me.
I think for me, my why is because there's so many people who have been stuck with like the why nots and like told that they can't do things that I feel obligated to be a voice for the voiceless. I feel like obligated to tell my story, to tell my family story, to let the world know what we came from and how we've been and where we're going. Like it's just like a obligation to just preserve that and like make sure that nobody's sitting up in Acres Homes like down the street from where I was and like just thinking that that's it for them. Like I just feel like I have to let people know that it's available, it's out there,
right,
and you can do it. So that's like me. That's all I really care about.
That's what's up.
Dope.
Okay. So I would say my why is just because of how I was raised. I would say my parents have been like the biggest factor for me. Both my parents are deceased, but everything that I have done and everything that I have become has been because of them. And so because they reared me to be the woman that I am today, a lot of what I do is, my thoughts of them looking down from heaven, being proud of me, being, just so grateful to God that they did what they did for me. And of course, my ability to be able to give back as well. I love the fact that I can go and have conversations with people. I can talk to people. I can tell people, that yes, I struggle doing this, but you can be better, and tell them, what I did wrong that can hopefully, potentially help them in the future, let my mistakes be your mistakes so you don't make those mistakes,
Right.
So that would be my why.
Well, that's dope. That's dope. So, where can the people find you guys? Handles, books, websites, what you guys got going? Where can they find you guys?
Okay. So, my name is SonyaGaines, but so I have a website. My website is Sonya G Sold It. SONYA G as in Gail sold it at actually .com is my website, but my email is SonyaGSoldIt@gmail.com. My Instagram is capital_gains.
Okay.
Thought that was pretty.
I
I thought that was pretty dope, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So capital with a K, _gains GAINES is my Instagram. I have Facebook. It's Sonya R Gaines Realtor at Janeburg Properties.
Okay.
If you search me there.
Dope.
Cool. I'm all on the internet. Website is FReneeHamilton.com. Notorious_Fal on Instagram, Clubhouse, Twitter, Facebook, author F. Renee Hamilton.
Dope.
I'm all over there.
Your books.
Oh, The books, I have copies available. You can purchase from my website at Fallon Hamilton, or you can go straight to Amazon and get them if you like. For the Southern book, if you purchase it off of Amazon, a part of the proceeds does go back to the university. So ramp it up. Ramp it up.
What's up?
Larry?
Listen, I was getting this question quite often, so I decided to put everything in one spot for you people out there. So Larry W. Brooks, a.k.a. Mr. Pure Hustle, a.k.a. Mr. Texas Real Estate King. You can find me at larrywbrooks.com. You'll be able to book me for speaking engagement, consulting, find the Pure Hustle gear, find the books that I've authored. In addition to that, my IG handle is at Texas Real Estate King. So it's a pleasure to have been in front of you today.
Dope. I appreciate all you guys coming through.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And I told you guys I'm gonna have you guys on. You gonna see these two guys again. Larry, I'm gonna have you on there too. Matter of fact, everybody see I'm gonna have these three guys
I
again
don't
on
know
a
if
dating
Larry
series.
wants to come back.
Larry don't, because I don't want to give none of y'all no facts.
Larry said
That's gonna be multiple.
he
It's
has
gonna
a
be-
3-month rule.
Right. That
So
boy said 3 months rotation. 3 months.
I don't know if Larry wants to come back or not.
They're going to be lined up for that one. 3 months. Well, what is it? What is you doing in 3 months?
Right.
So I'm gonna bring these guys back for the dating show. We're gonna have a panel of
Oh, goodness.
4 women, 4 men about here in Houston and being the challenges of dating here in the Houston area. But I thank you guys for tuning in to the show. Make sure you hit these people up on their Instagrams or their websites. Make sure you purchase some of their apparel. Make sure you purchase some of their material. I thank you guys for tuning in. This is your boy DJ KO. Blessings, much love, peace.